Why is it that in a world so advanced, so connected, we still struggle to solve some of the most pressing human rights issues? The answer might surprise you. It often lies not in the lack of resources or goodwill, but in the direction we're applying our solutions. Take, for example, the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Palestine. The world has poured resources into aid, attempting to alleviate the suffering. However, this approach can be likened to trying to stem a flood by building a barrier inside your home. It might hold back some of the water, but ultimately, it's not addressing the source of the problem. The real solution? Turn off the faucet. In this case, this means addressing the issues at their source, in Israel. This doesn't mean turning our backs on the Palestinian people, far from it. It means advocating for changes in policy and action that will alleviate the root causes of the crisis. This is a complex issue, with many layers of history and politics. But at its heart, it's about human rights, about ensuring that every person has the chance to live a safe, healthy, and fulfilling life. To recap, pouring resources into a problem without addressing its root cause is akin to building a barrier against a flood inside your home. Instead, we need to turn off the faucet, address the issue at its source. In the case of Palestine, this means focusing our efforts on advocating for change in Israel. Remember, the world is full of faucets. It's up to us to ensure they're turned off at the source, not just managed downstream. In an advanced and connected world, why is it that we can't overcome certain pressing human rights issues? The reason may startle you. Often it's not about the lack of resources or goodwill, but about where we're applying our solutions. Consider the enduring humanitarian crisis in Palestine. Despite the world channeling resources into aid to alleviate the suffering, this approach resembles creating a set in your room while water floods in from a leak. It might momentarily halt the incoming water, but it doesn't tackle the source of the leakage. The actual resolution? Closing the valve. In this context, it implies addressing the problem at its origin, in Israel. This doesn't mean we abandon the people of Palestine. On the contrary, it means advocating for policy changes and actions that would mitigate the root causes of the crisis. Although this is a convoluted issue, steeped in layers of history and politics, its essence is about human rights, about safeguarding the opportunity for every individual to lead a safe, healthy, and fulfilling life. To recap, directing resources into problem without addressing its root cause is like creating a set while your room is flooding. Instead, we need to close the valve, tackle the issue at its origin. In the case of Palestine, that necessitates concentrating our efforts on advocating for change in Israel. Remember, our world is replete with leaking valves. It's our responsibility to ensure that these leaks are sealed at their source, not just managed downstream.